edition of your Region This Week. Thanks for watching. I'm Andy Carroll Woolery. See you next time.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Kitchener's perfect music mix is on Chime 96.7. So every song is someone's favorite song. On Chime 96.7.
Survey says Celebrity Family Feud is wild.
Name something your mate's booty has in common with the basketball.
It bounces.
We get some answers I didn't even know you could say on TV.
I'm Wendell Clark with a word about winning. We all know it takes a team effort in any sport and with any challenge. You can be a part of the winning team that shuts out impaired driving. Whether you're out on the town or just hanging out with friends, drink responsibly. Always have a plan for a safe ride home for yourself, your family, and your friends. You'll be helping to shut out impaired driving.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
This is Rogers TV.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lions TV Bingo here on Rogers TV. Hope you're going to great week, especially with the cooling down we've got lately. And looking forward to 5 exciting bingo games. First things first, last week's full card winner. Just had one, Sylvania Aruba. Oh, lovely name, Aruba. Purchasers at One Little Short Stops on Norfolk and Cambridge. Congratulations, Sylvania. We're delighted you won the entire $3,500 prize board. This week, because we're on our new system, the security code is the number 3. Be sure 3 is punched through your, or actually printed on your package, not pants through like the old days. And then we do the rules as are governed by the Ontario Gaming Commission. But first, I'd like you to take a look at that www.rogerstv.com/Lions TV Bingo site. That's the place to go if you want to stream our show on your computer, or if you want to find out if there's previous winners were, or there's been a change in time or date of a given game, and that kind of stuff. And if you just stick at that www.rogerstv.com, just that alone, you find out all the other great programming right here on Rogers TV. The package you receive from the merchants consists of 5 different colors, 5 different cards, not different colors, all the same color. However, they will all have a different shape on them, so that the shape for the first card is an L for the L game, then an I, and then an O, and so on. And it's easy to sort of mark out your bingo numbers, make it easy for you to determine whether you got a winner. And if you take a look, you can see that there's 2 different sets, one above and one below, for each of the different shapes you got to work with. If you think you've got a winning card, please phone 1-866-808-0215, and please bring the card you're playing with you to the phone. You've got to tell us the number in the free space so we can compare with our computer to find out whether that is indeed a good bingo. So here's basically how the show works. Let's say we're playing on the 3rd game altogether. That's the small O game. And let's say I've called 30 numbers altogether, and somebody at home thinks they've got a good bingo. So they phone 1-866-808-0215. They bring the 3rd bingo card with the phone. They tell us the number in the free space, and the computer says, yes, that is a good bingo. At that point, a 10-minute window opens up for other people to call in and declare a bingo. Because of the nature of the phone system, we have to allow that 10-minute window. Sure enough, 2 minutes later, somebody else phones in, and they also bingoed on the 30th number. Those 2 people would share the prize board equally. However, it isn't necessarily the first person who phones in who's actually the bingo winner. It's the person who bingos on the earliest number called. So, if within that 10-minute window, now that's an absolute rule, you have to be within that 10-minute window, somebody else phones in and says they bingoed on the 29th number, and the computer confirms it, then they take precedence, and I'm afraid they win the prize board, and the 2 people who phoned in earlier, I'm sorry, are just out of luck. It's the way it has to work because of that window. Okay, those are the general rules for our show. Let's take a look at the rules we have for our very first game we're going to play, which is the L game. If you open up that first page, you can see there's a whitish coloration of an L shape, everything under the B and across the bottom of the board, making an L shape. Prize board, of course, is $500. Let's load the machine and play the L game. And here we go. First number up is an N34. N34. Our next number is an I, number 19. I-19. Then we got another N, this time 41. N41. B number 3. B number 3. And an N43. N43. B number 6. B number 6. I-28. I-28. And the smallest O in bingo, O61. O61. B number 2. B number 2. And an O70, O70, O70. G56, G56. And an N32, N32. N31, N31. And a G55, G55. N45, N45. And an N42, N42. And an O63. O63. Good old lucky B13. B13. Another B for you, this time number 4. B number 4. And another B, this time B number 9. B number 9. O71. O71. I30, I30, I30. And an I17, good old I17. How about the smallest number in all of bingo, B number 1. B number 1. O64. O64. And a B number 10. B number 10. How about an N35? N35. G59. G59. And an N37. N37. And an O74. O74. Got a phone call coming in. Let's see if we got a winner. I'd like that. Oh, we got a winner. We have a winner. And the winning number is N37. So I'm afraid 74 is out. It's the number just before that. N37 is the winning number as of this moment. Okay. Now, unless you're a winner in that game, get rid of it and turn to the second card in your group, which of course is the I card. So the letter I is the one we're going to be looking at. Everything under the I. Just 5 numbers usually is what we require. to determine a winner. So I'll just call ayes, the rest we put aside. So let's go and play the eye game. Here we go. And we got the smallest one possible, 16. 16. After 16, we got 28. 28. What comes after 28? Well, you got it. 29. 29. The penultimate number is 18. 18. And the final number is my favorite number in all of bingo, 27. 27. So if you've got 16, 18, 27, 28, and 29 on your second card, phone 1-866-808-0215, and please bring that card with you to the phone. You got to tell us the number in the free space so we can get you the money, which is what everybody wants. They want to be a winner. Got a phone call coming in. I like that. I said it many times before. I'm always terrified if I call the 6th number because it could end up with up to 50 winners, and the poor people upstairs answering the phones just go crazy. But we've got a winner, and it's on 27, which is even better. I like it. So I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a little break right now and get the phones caught up and all that jazz, and we'll be gone. See you back in about a couple of minutes. See you soon. Ready to go on the third game in our group, the L game, I game, it's the O game. Now we play what is called the small O game here. Only those numbers touching the free space count. So only I's, N's, and G's, and just the ones touching the free space. The B's, No's I'll put aside. Prize board, of course, on this third game is $500. Let's load the machine and play the small O game. Here we go. First number up that counts is N37. N37. Did you know the largest, most populous city in the world is Tokyo, and it has 37 million people in it? Yep, Tokyo has 37 million people living in that little tiny place. Wow, amazing. At any rate, our next number is a G, and it's 47. G47. And we got an I-23, I-23. And then we've got N34, N34. Did you know it takes 34 muscles of the human face to create a frown? You have to have 34 muscles to make the frown. And I'm lazy, I don't like to frown very much. Well, we got another N for you. This time it's 39, N39. And another N, this time 44. N, 44. Well, another N, this is the small guy in the N column, N31. N31. And a G59. G59. I-22. I-22. G53, G53. And an I-27, I-27. N32, N32. And an I-16, I-16. N35, N35 was on this in 1835 that a guy named Merrick, I think it was Samuel Merrick, but I'm not sure, patented the wrench. You know, the common little wrench we use all the time? Yeah, the wrench was patented in 1835. I didn't realize it was that old. Well, we got another N, and this time it's 42, N42. And a G50, G50, G50. Got another G, so stay in that column. This time is G48, G48. I-24, I-24. And an I-28, I-28. Got a phone call. Now that phone call may have come in around the same time I called the number, so 28 may not count. We'll see. Okay, the winning number is on G48, which is 3 numbers ago. So G48 as of right now is the winning number. Subject to change, of course. So we played the L game, the I game, the O game. It's now time for the N game. Now the N game is played on the 4th card in your little group, and it's everything under the B, everything under the O, and the diagonal through the free space, meaning N's don't count in this particular game, which I always think is somewhat ironic. At any rate, let's load up the machine and play the N game. Prize board is $500. Here we go. First number up is an 064. 064. And an I-23. I-23. And an O-74. O-74. How about the biggest number in all of bingo? O-75. O-75. And then my favorite vitamin, good old B12. B12. And the quarter century mark, I-25. I-25. And after 25, yep, you got it, I-26. I-26. G58, G58. And an O-71, O-71. Got another O for you. This time 63. Oh, 63. Got another O. This time 73. Oh, 73. B15, good old B15. Did you know it's estimated that 15% of smartphones have a cracked screen? Yeah, I don't know how they arrived at that, but that's the latest statistic I got. 15% of so-called smartphones have a cracked screen. Interesting. Mine doesn't. B number 9. B, number 9. Then we got a G, this time 55. G, 55. And an I-21. I-21. And an O-68. O-68. Did you know that on this date in 1868, helium was discovered on the sun? Now, it was discovered on the sun 40 years before we found it on Earth, which I always find interesting. At least I found it interesting. 1868, they discovered helium on the sun. They didn't get it around the Earth until the late or early 1900s. Well, we got another O for you, this time 72. Oh, 72. And another O, this time 69. Oh, 69. B14, B14. Now it's time for the smallest O in bingo, O61, O61. So on this date of 1961, by the way, the Berlin Wall was completed. For those of you who can remember that far back, 1961, the Berlin Wall was completed. Just to separate Berlins. Oh well. G60 is our next number, G60. And a G46. G46. And a B number 6. B number 6. I-30, I-30, I-30. And then an I-17, I-17. You may remember I told you it takes 34 muscles to cause a frown. Well, it only takes 17 to cause a smile in the human face. Just let you know, yep, half as many muscles are required to get a smile as it does to have a frown. Yep, there's a song about that. I-24 is our next number, I-24. And an I-20, I-20. So on this date in 1920, by the way, that American women got the vote for the very first time. Yep, 1920, women got the vote. think they got the vote earlier than that in Canada, but I can't remember now. G49. G49. Another G, this time 51. G51. B number 2. B number 2. And an O62. O62. It was on this date in 1962, by the way, that Peter, Paul, and Mary released If I Had a Hammer. I've had to sing that a few times, and it's kind of a fun thing to sing. If I Had a Hammer. 1962 by Peter, Paul, and Mary. How about B13? B13. And an I-22. I-22. Oh, got a phone call. Good, I won't call this one yet. That's good. Okay, we've got a winner, and it's on B13. Good stuff. B13 is the winning number as of right now. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a little bit of a break right now and get the phones caught up and all that jazz in preparation for the big one, the full card game that everybody wants to win. We'll be back in a couple of minutes, give or take. See you soon. Ready to go on the big one. That's the one everybody wants to win, the full card game. That's on the last card of your little group. The outline is there. Fill in all those spaces. Don't mess up the free space number. Remember, that's the one you have to tell us you're going to claim your winnings. So let's load up the machine and play the full card game. Prize board is $3,500. Here we go. First number up is a G49. G49. I-19. It's on this date in 1919, by the way, that Afghanistan became independent of Great Britain. Yep, Great Britain actually controlled Afghanistan at one stage, if anybody can control the place. At any rate, it's independent this date, 1919. There you are. G47. G47. And an N35. N35. G51. G51. And a B number 10. B number 10. N31. N31. G58. G58. O62. O62. Another O, this much bigger one this time. O74. O74. And an N36. N36. It's on this date in 1936. The American actor Robert Redford was born. Robert Redford born this date, 1936. Yeah, interesting guy. N39. N39. It's on this date in 1939, by the way, that Wizard of Oz opened in New York. Yep, the film version. Wizard of Oz opened this date, 1939. That's how long the Wizard of Oz has been around. Still a popular movie. N44 is our next number, N44. And we got another N, holy sugar. This time, the big one, N45. N45. B number 5, and for you car aficionados, it was on this date in 1905 the Cadillac Crest was registered as a trademark. Yep, Cadillac's been around officially since 1905. Thought you'd like to know that. N34, N34. And an O72, 72. Then we got the biggest B in bingo, good old B15. B15. And an N32. N32. B number 4. B number 4. It's on this date in 1904 that Max Factor immigrated from Poland to the United States and established himself in Los Angeles, where he began his business. Now, his name really wasn't Max Factor. It was Maxiturian Faktorowicz. He was from Poland. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it, but if you're Polish, I don't mean to insult you. 073. 073. G57. G57. And an N41. N41. Oh, 68. Oh, 68. G54. G54. And an N42. N42. It's on this date in 1942 that the Dieppe raid occurred, which of course involved the Canadian 1st Division, and was actually quite a disaster. It was very sad for our troops, I'm afraid. But at any rate, Dieppe raid occurred this date, 1942. B13. B13. And an O71. O71. O65. O65. And a G50, G50, G50. The number of hairs per square centimeter on a sea otter is 150,000. 150,000 in an area about the size of my thumbnail. Yeah, 150,000 hairs. Wow. No wonder the water doesn't get in. That's a sea otter for you. 070, 070, 070. And B number 1. B number 1. And B number 3. B number 3. It's on this date in 1903 that Joseph Pulitzer, owned a newspaper and a publisher and so on in New York, set aside $1 million to establish the Pulitzer Prize, which many writers gladly and hopefully get in their lifetime. At any rate, Pulitzer Prize was established this date, 1903. Here you go. Got another B for you, this time a pretty big one, B14. B14. And an I-27. I-27. O69. O69. And an I-25. I-25. N37. N37. And an I-26. I-26. G48. G48. And an I-22. I-22. G56. G56. And B number 9. B number 9. G55. G55. Then we got a G60. 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 And if we take 60 and divide it by 3, we end up with I-20. I-20. Another I, this time 18. I-18. now we have the smallest I in bingo, I-16. I-16. O-67. O-67 is on this date in 1967 that the Beatles hit All You Need Is Love, hit number 1 on the hit parade. Yep, number 1, this date, 1967, was the Beatles' All You Need Is Love. Till it comes time to pay the mortgage. Oh, 66. Oh, 66. And an I-30, I-30, I-30. G53, G53. And an I-24, I-24. Got another I for you, this time 28, I-28. And the smallest O in bingo is next, O-61, O-61. Now we got the number smiley muscles again, I-17, I-17. And an I-29, I-29. And an N-33, N-33. Did you know that 33% of the world consumes insects regularly? Yeah, 33% eat insects regularly. They intentionally do it. We don't do that, but maybe we should. B11 is our next number, B11. Got a phone call coming in. I don't know whether that came in before B11 or not, but we'll see. Yep, the winning number is I-29. I'm afraid it's quite some time ago. So we do have a winner. That's important. And I can tell you some of the winners are so far this week. Little drum roll, please. First winner, L Game winner, just one. Jerry Catt purchased his at Stratford Variety in Stratford. I Game winner, we got several. Kelly Snyder was one, purchasers at One Little Shortstops in Cambridge, along with Mary Spott, who purchasers Hasty Mart on Kingsway Drive in Kitchener. Margaret Prince was another winner, purchasers at Speedvale Variety in Guelph, along with Margaret Smith, who purchasers at Joe's Variety in Stratford. I Game winner again, Kathy Batista purchased hers at One Little Shortstops on Beverly in Cambridge. O Game winner, just one. Tanya Hardy was one, purchased hers at Hasty Mart on Courtright in Guelph. And End Game winner got two. Roberta Reese, who purchased hers at G-Mart Convenience in Lively, and Jerry Fountain, who purchased hers at Nunn and Zizzy Convenience in Kitchener. Whew. Well, we just finished on time. So from all of us here at the studio and Lion Club members all around the world, wish you all the very best. We'll look forward to seeing you next week. Good night now.
This This is Rogers TV.
We'll have a house party. We don't need nobody wasted time. All that wasted time.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Hi, Pastor Mark here. Join us each and every week on Sundays. All are welcome, no exceptions. That is St. Peter's Church, every Sunday at 11 a.m. God bless. We'll see you soon.
In baseball, there's nothing more important than making it home.
George Springer has tied the game.
Doesn't matter how you get there.
It's gone!
But I do it with style.
Boy, has he got some kind of power.
And a little swagger, too.
Because no matter where you happen to be,
Oh, what a play!
There's only one place.
Got it!
Jays fans call home.
Sportsnet.
Sportsnet, home of the Blue Jays.
You're watching Rogers TV.
The following program is presented by Ballinran Entertainment. As Southwestern Ontario's largest film, television, and digital media studio, we illuminate extraordinary stories, sharing them with the world. One person's trash is another person's party dress.
You can be an environmental activist and you can celebrate that, and it doesn't have to always be this miserable, dark conversation.
Someone who was like, fast fashion, why not? It's not a big deal. And then you're like, oh, that's a big deal. Mm-hmm. That's a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
We do have this power to influence people and change their perspectives to do better and think about what they're consuming.
Well, we're recording this on Tuesday, April 15th, and we thought spring was about to come, but it's snowing outside. And sitting beside me is a young lady who's just returned back from the Greens of Ireland, and
Yes.
You're adorned with money. You've got money all over your
Money all
fingers
over
and
me.
your neck. What are you doing here?
Rings on my fingers, bells on my toes. I am here to discuss environmental stuff, green stuff, clothing stuff.
That's right, because this episode will air around Earth Day, which is April 20-something at the end of the month. We'll find out in
22nd
yeah.
is Earth Day.
Is
So-
official
officially.
Earth Day.
What were you doing in Ireland?
I was working with an upcycling designer and learning the trade to like franchise the business here in Canada.
And upcycling. Tell me what upcycling is.
Her business or her full cycle business is that she takes materials from the hotel industry, which would be like towels or sheets or duvets, and makes them into clothing. So shorts or beach robes, shirt dresses. It's amazing. It's 100% cotton, most of the stuff, because they're coming from that industry, and she makes designs from it.
I don't even think I mentioned your name, did I?
I'm Joni.
Joni
Yeah,
Chappell.
Joni Chappell.
And you and I are kind of looking alike today. We're
Yes.
both wearing something
We're
that...
wearing one of my favorite upcyclers, Claire Scott, who's beside me.
And
so are you. You can't see it on the table, but you're the snake.
It's down there. We're both wearing snakes. So this thing in Ireland, I remember this song called Dirty Laundry. Who sang that song, Dirty Laundry?
Oh,
I'm just thinking of towels from hotels and stuff like that. I assume they're... I assume
it's
they're
all cleaned. It's all cleaned, okay? Pre-cleaned, bleached, all of it.
Yeah, so you were applying your fashion background to environmental causes.
Yeah, I think there's something I'm really passionate about, have been actually, and that's a nice segue into parts of what we're going to talk about, Trash and Week, is that it got me back into thinking about fashion. I went to, what is it called?
It's formerly called Ryerson. It's the university formerly called Ryerson.
Yes.
It's now called Toronto Metropolitan
Yes.
University.
So I went for fashion.
I
so
went
it's-
there too. Yeah.
You went there too?
I did there,
when
yeah.
it was called something else. I went for fashion, and I was there so it was a university degree, and it's a passion that I've done for a long time, and but then I got out of it, I went into yoga, and it kind of just went into a different direction. And it wasn't until kind of Trashion Week, which would have been 2018, that I got back creatively to think about clothes and fashion again.
Right, and we've got two wonderful guests today. We've got Claire Scott, artist, and Jessica Guy, who is the...
Hey.
Now, Jessica, you actually came up with the concept for Trashion Week, right?
I did.
So how long ago was that, and what was the thinking behind it?
So the planning would have started in 2017. I think because I've always been a bit of an environmentalist at heart. I've had a salon in Stratford for many years that focuses on eco-beauty, and incorporating eco-fashion into that just kind of made sense. It was kind of a nice way to sort of create an event around eco-beauty, and the idea of showing that it doesn't have to be all doom and gloom. You can be an environmental activist, and you can celebrate that, and it doesn't have to always be this miserable, dark conversation. It can be beautiful and bright and fun and exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 7 years ago. Yeah.
Well, I'm not very good at math, but yeah.
Yeah, 7 years.
So this year will be Did you stop during the pandemic?
Yes, we had to stop. We were in full swing planning for 2020, and then everything got the axe, and then we finally managed to kind of regroup ourselves and did a show in 2023 that was just kind of, we've had a lot of time to reflect and regroup on what people really like about the week, and there's 2 events specifically that really draw people out and people really get excited about. So we just did those 2 events, or those 2 runway shows on one day, and yeah, this year we're just kind of expanding on those specific 2 events, the Trashion Show and the Refashion Show, but we're kind of mashing them together, incorporating some pre-loved and vintage, and then some spotlight designers that are creating their lives and their business on creating an eco-fashion brand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that week tell me when those events take place. They're at Factory 163 here in Stratford.
Factory 163, April 25th and 26th.
Terrific. And speaking of designers and creators, people see this shirt and who are you wearing? And I say, well, I'm wearing Claire Scott. So I actually saw this at a vintage sale. I said, hey, that's speaking to me. So thank you. It's taking me out of my comfort zone because I haven't worn a snake before.
No, I remember when you put it on and we were like, yeah, you need that. It fit perfectly, and yeah.
So you're an artist. When you grew up in Stratford, but when you left Stratford, I don't imagine, like a lot of people, like when I left Stratford, I never was going to come back. But you came. What did you go away for, and why did you come back?
Yeah, so I left right out of high school, went to university at 18, and did 4 years in Toronto, and then moved to Vancouver and just kind of worked and wanted other experience in a different place. And then I ended up traveling all over Asia for 4 months. And so I was kind of gone from Stratford for about 5 years. And then after traveling, I was like, I have university debt. And I really had this huge urge and passion to make art after all my experiences and coming out of school. So I was like, okay, I'm going to come home for the summer and crush a summer in Stratford in the service industry. And I really had no plan. I did not plan on staying, but I did plan on getting all my debt paid off and just making a body of work. And so I just had that goal all summer. So I ended up making a body of work. I was really excited to showcase that work. I was just kind of mentioning to people that I wanted to showcase this body of work. Somehow or another, opportunities led me to opening up a pop-up space. And 7-8 years later, I'm still here doing art in the community and
we're so happy that
making a living as a full-time artist, which is really fabulous.
But you didn't go to school thinking you'd become a full-time artist.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Oh, I did.
So what were you studying at university?
I went in for visual art, so a more focus on drawing and painting. And I was already a self-taught artist, and through that experience, I would still say that I was self-taught. But university provided me with the experience to collaborate with people, which really ended up being a big part of my work and my profession now is collaboration of the arts.
And your travels gave you inspiration and new ideas on how to expand your repertoire, I suppose.
Yes, and I started my first business at 18, which was a play on fashion, I guess. Like, it was a fashion business. It was putting my artwork on clothing in a fast fashion category. So it wasn't any, and I did not have any sort of identity with fashion, even when I ran this clothing brand that was like very successful for 6 years. Got on, Degrassi, and people wore it all over Toronto, and we used to have these big parties in school and everything like that. I never was like really taking on that identity that I was in the fashion world. It was more like I'm putting my art on clothing. And then made a huge transition and segue into eco-fashion through the process of learning about the environment and the detriments of the fast fashion industry. So completely stopped that whole business, took a huge break from creating anything of fashion, and learned a lot of new skills like screen printing, sewing, stuff like that, that then transitioned into this new business, Claire Upcycled. And it hasn't even been, I feel like, in the last until the last year that I really now feel an identity in the fashion world, and that coinciding with being an artist, because that again was just kind of a